Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. I want to wish you all a happy Memorial Day and just share with you what I have going on today. What you're looking at here are some fig cuttings that I took from my fig tree back in the fall of 2020. And I had a fig tree that was getting very tall and but not spreading out wide. And I cut it back so that it would branch out and be more of a fuller tree than what it was the way it was growing. And so what I did is I took about 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet off of it, and the stem cutting that I took from it, I made several cuttings. As you can see here, I have 8 cuttings that I took, and I scraped the bottom of the stem to get down to the cambium layer, and I use rooting hormone on the end of it and simply placed it in some potting soil and left it in the greenhouse over winter. And it wasn't until late spring that I noticed that it started budding, and took it out of the greenhouse because of course it was getting too warm, and brought it outside. And as you can see here, look at all of the new growth from it. And so they have been in these little Bonnie cups that I repurposed for quite some time. And so now I want to up pot them into these pots here, and I think these are either 3 or 5 gallon containers. And my aim was to just purchase some compost and manure and some topsoil and just mix that together to pot them up. But I noticed when I went to Lowe's the other day that the topsoil has gone up to $2 as opposed to, I think it used to be like $1.60 or so. And so what they had on sale was the Miracle-Gro garden soil for $2.50 a bag. And I was able to find 4 busted bags. So that made these bags $1.25, which is cheaper than what I wanted to spend. So what I'm doing today is I'm having to up pot these figs because of course there's no space for it to really grow. And these are cuttings that I plan to sell possibly next year. And so I wanted to place it into this pot where it can develop a very good root system. And then that way I would have had it for at least 2 seasons before selling it, to make sure that it is a successful and healthy fig tree. And so as you can see here, and I'll just pull this one out, look at the roots on here. So I'm really grateful that I was able to develop the courage to try to root these. It's not a hard process. It does take time because, as I've stated, I cut these back. It was in the fall, and it wasn't until spring that I actually saw that something was happening. And so it's a long process. You have to be patient. Sometimes you will succeed and sometimes you may not, but as you can see here, I had 100% success with each and every one of the fig cuttings. In this bottle back here, I was trying to propagate a rose, but it died. But as I've stated, that's just how it is when you're trying to propagate. And so I'm going to get one more. Let's see. So I can share with you what the roots look like. And so I'm going to go on and I found here around the house more pots that I can use to pot up the rest of these fig cuttings. But just wanted to share with you what I'm doing today, and hope that you all are having a safe and blessed Memorial Day. And I'll also show you what the fig tree looks like, the one that I took the cuttings from. Okay? Guys, before I take you to show you the fig tree that I took the cutting from, I just wanted to correct the statement that I made. I stated that I had 100% success with propagating these fig trees from cuttings. However, after I began pulling them out, there was one that did absolutely nothing, and I think this might have been the one that was at the very top. And as you can see here, you can see here how I had scraped the stem cutting, and I had rooted it in rooting hormone, and stuck it into the soil about up to here, right here, and place it in the soil. But this one did nothing. But looking at it, it looks like this might have been the piece that was at the tip at the very top of the cutting. But just wanted to come back and make that correction. So out of 9 cuttings, 8 of them actually rooted. And as you can see here, they're all potted up. And I also want to make mention that I didn't use any special soil or anything special. As I've stated, I was just going to use some topsoil and some compost and manure, but I was able to get these bags of Miracle-Gro because it was more economical. And I've been propagating a lot of things, and so you know it can become costly trying to purchase all of those materials that you need. But you don't have to buy anything fancy. If it's going to root, it's going to root. And then, you know, as it's growing, if you want to add amendments to it, then I would suggest doing so at that time. But if you're just taking a cutting, you don't have to go out and buy a whole lot of different bags of different things to get it to root. Okay? And here's the fig tree where I took the cutting from. And as you can see, the cutting came right from here. And it has really branched out, as you can see. It's branched out really nicely. And so by taking the cutting, I didn't do any harm to the tree. Rather, just helping it to grow in a better form where I can hopefully one day get more figs. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And don't forget, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos. God bless.